2. So let's say you're driving right now. Maybe you're not anywhere you can get on a computer and order this.
I'm the host of Inverted World Live. I'll be leaving here at 9:40 tonight.
Fire intermittently since 2024. But after Israel attacked Iranian nuclear facilities earlier this month, the two longtime Middle East adversaries have launched volleys of drones and missiles against each other. Now, it is being confirmed by Reuters that a senior official said that they have agreed to a ceasefire. We have this from Trey Yingst of Fox News. Diplomat briefed on the ceasefire.
Yo, dog, you know
President Trump
who you look like in that movie? If you ever look it up, you should look up Frankenstein, dog.
From what, Van Helsing? Huh?
Spitting image of you, dude.
Nice. Like the doctor or the monster thing?
No, the monster. The monster.
Nice, dude. This guy's so gay, dude.
You see it?
Yeah. Okay. It kind of looks like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Like the main guy, what he's wearing to me just screams Bloodborne. And the buildings too. Dog, I'm almost at 1,000.
Yeah, but did you fucking start the stream?
Dude, this guy's so gay, dude. Asked me to start the stream, and then he doesn't even fucking look for it, like a
Fucking faggot.
Gay faggot retard. Like an actual retard. Did you start the stream? Oh.
What do you have for dinner?
Burgers and fries.
Damn, dude. Five Guys?
No. Homemade shit. Other than the fries.
Oh.
Okay. Five Guys. Driving there, you have to plan to go there, and I wouldn't do that today because it's too hot. I wouldn't be surprised if once I get there, the fucking place is hot as fuck.
Yeah.
And I don't like having greasy hands.
Nice.
And it being hot.
Be ready
It's
to
just two
eliminate
things I
hostiles.
don't like.
Oh, they don't have air conditioning in there?
They do, but it's not always cool. Like, there's air conditioning, but there's also stoves and fryers going on at the same time in the same room. Like there's no, there's nothing blocking it obviously. So
10 seconds.
Reload!
I like that guy trying to like stop you from
5 seconds
blowing
and
up the
counting.
wall.
Bomb located by Op 4.
yes! No! Fucking piece of shit, man!
That guy survives.
Yeah, because he had the fucking vest.
One friendly remaining.
Nice, dude. Report Rook. Amazing.
Mission failed. All friendlies were eliminated.
Because people named Brock are fat. What the fuck, dude? At one point in time, he is correct, dude.
Yeah.
Be ready to
The
engage
U.S. got
Op 4.
Israel to agree to a ceasefire with Iran. The president asked Qatar to help persuade Iran to do the same. Following that, Vice President Vance coordinated with Qatar's Prime Minister on the details. This effort proved successful, and following discussions with the Qatari PM, the Iranians agreed. The deal was coordinated at the highest level by the president and vice president, and the Qatari Emir and Prime Minister directly. Despite having been attacked just hours earlier, Qatari set aside their grievances and prioritized regional security to get the deal done. So, just before this announcement, actually a couple hours before, it was videos
10 seconds.
of Iran launching ballistic missiles at Qatar, targeting the U.S.
5
base.
seconds and counting.
Should this prove to hold, I just gotta say, Trump,
Op 4 has located
he's
a
hit
bomb.
a grand slam with this one. If the war officially ends,
I still
we can
can't
say
believe
that he
that the U.S. gave up a fucking Russian warlord for a fucking WNBA player, dude.
Well, she is a lesbian, so maybe that's first.
Spotted.
Let's go, baby! Yeah, of course, dude. Would you expect anything else?
I don't know, dude.
Especially Biden. Literally mentally handicapped.
I'm pretty sure it's a guy, so.
What, the warlord?
No, the WNBA player.
Or you think it's a guy?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but a lot of them look and sound.
Friendly, last operator.
I'd say 95+% of them are unattractive. There's actually one team where there's 2 or 3 good-looking ones, and I was a cool
Mission
shit.
failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it was the biggest fucking
Yeah, of course.
flop of a prisoner exchange I've ever seen.
She brings weed to Russia, which is not legal, or whatever she brought was not legal, and then she gets arrested for it. It's like, it's not like she got arrested for something that she shouldn't have. Or if, like, if she got arrested for being American, that would make sense why they swapped something, but I don't know.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location.
The bugger's gonna die. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah.
It's a real powers resolution. He's allowed to take military action.
So,
Further military action
in
is
Baldur's
needed. We
Gate,
have a ceasefire.
Insertion in
If then, the
you
next
killed
12
everybody
hours
in
find
the
us out,
Underdark.
Trump's got a
5
tremendous
seconds to
historic
insertion.
victory.
Yep.
Libertarians are going to be most affected.
You've located a bomb.
So like even the dwarves, the mushroom people,
The sky didn't
everyone.
fall, it didn't expand into a wider war. It was just a strike, and Iran was like, well, we're not really in a position to do anything about this, are we? And took the actual, self-preservation.
That's where I'm at right now in my home playthrough.
Disintegrate?
Well, because they were all massive, upheaval in the Middle East. It'll turn into a war.
So what, did you restart the game, or are you...
No. It's the one that we were co-op.
Breaking impact.
Okay.
Hunter's next. Get out!
You know, when you're not in the game, I can dismiss you from my my party, right? Then you basically just go into a wardrobe and you stay there until Still, you join back again, which is pretty funny.
When you say wardrobe, what do you mean?
An actual wardrobe, like you get put into like a wardrobe cabinet, and you just like in the camp there.
Oh shit. So what if I join? Like, so you're just gonna use that playthrough as your main?
Yeah, like it was always my main. Like I started it. But then like I obviously like I invited you like at the very beginning, but it still counts as like your single player game or whatever.
So what if I wanted to join again?
You could,
I could. Would I? But I'd be like leveled up automatically and shit.
Would assume so, yeah.
Deploying Claymore.
Loading new mag. Deploying.
One friendly operator remaining. 15 seconds. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds. You've run out of time.
Alright, I'll be back. Dude, why does everyone fucking play Rook in this goddamn game?
Be ready to engage Op 4.
Like, holy fuck, every goddamn game is a fucking Rook. Yeah. Fucking retards. Man. Every time they put it on something. Put it on the fucking ground.
Hey.
Door barricade up!
Fucking idiots,
5
dude, I
seconds
swear
to
to God.
insertion. Bomb located by Op 4.
Loading new mag.
Come on. Oh, no, he's down.
Shit.
Right.
Yes.
Go build some Lego.
Nice. Get on the game, build Lego. Fucking retard, dude. It's fucking bipolar.
Go on Lego set. Build that fucking S72 or whatever.
Fucking bipolar.
International rivals to US. Russia doesn't have the ability to take on the U.S. They can't take on Ukraine, right? Like they can't handle Ukraine. They're not going to be able to take on the U.S. So they're not going to really step in to help Iran. Same thing with China. China has a significant incentive to keep the status quo, particularly in the
It's
Hormuz, because they get like half their oil or whatever. They get tons of businesses there. So China was just like, no, you're not shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. They had no friends at all, and no one was there to support them. So I think that makes sense.
Friendly, last operator standing.
Yeah.
I do
Mission
leave it to
failed.
Trump
All
to
friendlies
start
were
a
eliminated.
war. Like he's already
12
naming
days
it.
war, yeah.
There's a lot in this message.
It wasn't a war, and a ceasefire doesn't mean a peace agreement. Sometimes when you're in a war, you'll call a ceasefire for a short period, and then you'll go back to fighting.
Why
So
you
it
gotta
doesn't mean, but there never was a war
say
to call
that,
a peace agreement for anyway. They fired what, like 13 or 14 missiles into Qatar, and all but one of them were shot down. One of the missiles was errant, so they just let it go.
Yeah. Where's it going?
I personally don't trust anything coming out of this administration at the moment. They just sneak attacked Iran. I imagine they're going to do it again. But you know, like you said, their faces on the ground. They're being stomped on. Their bones are breaking. They have no choice but to.
How many people live in Iran, Ian?
What's that?
How many people live in
I believe
Iran?
there's 92 million, but I haven't
me.
done the
Got me.
research. I haven't done the research.
I respect what you are saying, Ian. The Trump administration
Be ready to eliminate
is
hostages.
somewhere
How
in
does it-
They have a lot of comments
Outside.
about negotiating peace, negotiating faith,
Why you didn't
while they were
have to go
actually
outside today?
orchestrating a sneak attack on Iran.
Oh,
the
I
word
stayed
was
inside.
coming from numerous individuals involved that there was a ceasefire. Initially, I was skeptical. I was like, I don't believe it. Trump announces
Work
they
from
got a
home or you
ceasefire,
took the day off?
and then if Iran keeps attacking, it's
I took
Iran
the day off.
that's the aggressor. However, it does look like
think it was
Trump is trying to avoid
mid-30s.
escalation in the region and just want to take out
I think-
as
oh.
much of their
Mid-30s.
nuclear and
Holy
nuclear
shit,
possible.
mid-30s.
It was
I don't
37.
know if they do it. Like, if you want to argue
That's
efficacy,
where
10
because
seconds
a lot of
left.
people are saying 900 pounds of uranium is missing. What
5
did they actually do? It's like, oh, you know,
Fucking heat
they did
stroke,
what
man.
they could in terms of that
Op 4
agenda
has
item.
located a bomb.
The argument here is that Trump has, under the War Powers Act, old bill, if there's an imminent threat, he can order a military strike. Within 60 days, he must stop and ask Congress for approval to continue. If this does end, I mean, Trump, I will say this to everybody, because they were like, Tim, you were saying it was going to escalate. I have no problem being wrong. I'm not going to sit here and be like, here's why Trump is actually going to script. No, I'm stoked. Holy crap, I'd love to be wrong. I was worried AF that
wonder
this was
if he
going to
thinks
escalate.
it's
If
still
Trump
there.
really did just pull it off, I apologize for doubting the man.
I know that parents, mothers in particular, are thrilled that Iran will not have nuclear weapons. So, you know, as a mom, for the most part, I would say probably don't understand Middle East policy and what's going on over there, but they have concerns, parents, and one of those things is a nuclear weapon. That's a very big possibility. So, I didn't hear a lot
Tee-hee,
of
dog,
feedback from the mom
tee-hee.
community when we went in and took out those nuclear weapons.
What concerns me though is the idea you have your the Lend-Lease program with the Americans were giving the British weapons before World War II, and they couldn't sell them because they were violating, you know, some shit. So they were like,
Couldn't even fucking prone, dude.
the Lend-Lease was a program between the Americans and the British, where the Americans were giving they were giving it to a lot of people, but the British particularly, they're giving them weapons, and then they were like, you just pay us back later. So someone could give the Iranians a nuclear weapon and be like, just pay us later. Like, They don't have to make it. They can get one. They can receive one also. So we need to strengthen our diplomatic ties with the Chinese, the Russians, and the Indians right now, particularly, because they don't want a nuclear Iran. Nobody wants it. I don't think, except for these mullahs.
If nobody wants a nuclear Iran, who's going to give them the nuclear bomb?
I know, some maybe because
North Korea.
Putin won't always be in power, and if some
The
crazy guy gets it after Putin,
Old
like
president
really
of Russia, I think, said he was going to help them,
Yeah.
and that happened.
Or that other countries were
Medvedev.
rushing it.
Yeah.
North Korea, of course, but he's also on good terms with Trump. So I think that I want. I was going to say regime change. How could I say this smoothly?
Authoritarian.
I don't like
become a
theocracy. I find theocracy even more dangerous than monarchy.
I want regime change
I do
in
too.
Iran. I just don't want to be involved in whatever that means.
And I want it to be peaceful.
Ready to do-
I would
like,
love
it's
for it to
their
be
problem.
like they set it down, another organization picks it up, if possible.
Holy
I don't know if that's, I mean, I think that's what the Israelis are planning to do anyway. Make it happen. It looks like that's what they're planning to do. Install some sort of regime, like go target strike assassinations.
That would mean the war's not over.
Where has there
explosion.
ever been a peaceful regime change except in a democratically elected?
Canada.
In '79,
I mean, an election in a somewhat democrat country, but in a place like Iran.
2020
in
in this
Iran in
country.
'79, it was relatively peaceful. It only lasted about 6 months. The revolution, maybe 4 months on
But
6 months.
didn't a tyrant take over? I mean, isn't that what got
Yeah.
us into this situation?
But it wasn't really bloody. The king at the time didn't fight back, and everyone was like, "Why aren't you stopping the rebellion?" And he was just like sitting in his castle, not fighting it, and so they deposed him. And it was relatively peaceful as revolutions for a country that size. And it could happen again.
And what I think you're saying is that, I mean, they can change, but I don't want to be involved.
Friendly drone deployed.
Like, the coups
Op
we've
4 is
done
reinforcing
around
its
the-
location.
whether it's Guatemala or Iran again, you know, I don't want that to happen. They can do whatever they want.
Thing is,
I don't-
the Shah's son, who's in America right now, is the most likely candidate to be installed as the king of Iran, and we would definitely, because he's in America, we would somehow be involved with getting him up.
The issue with regime change nowadays compared to even 20 or 30 years ago is the internet and the speed of communications. So a couple hundred years ago, you wanted regime change, you literally need only stand in a building. You'd be standing in the building, sitting on the throne, being like, we're in charge now.
10
And if the
seconds.
king was in exile, then people didn't listen. So you take a look at even 100
5
years
seconds.
ago, how these revolutions
Yeah,
took
dog,
place.
I
It
can
was just
kill
like,
two people that are
we
one
stormed the
shots.
building and 1,000
Love
people
Mom.
surrounded it.
Make
Now
your way to
the
its
entire
location and
country
defuse
of
it.
millions of
If
people
you keep walking
has a new
around
form of
with a chip
government.
on your shoulder,
These
you are
days,
bound to get
Oh.
hurt.
there's
I guess it's
digital
scary,
communications.
got
You saw in France in World War II because the French, Paris was taken over. 500 years ago, the entire country of France would have served the Germans, but half of France split off because Charles de Gaulle went into exile in England and was able to kind of lead this resistance via telephone. Now we got the internet.
Yeah. So if, say, a group of people were to like storm the Capitol, like during the counting of the election, and they stood in that building, literally nothing would happen. The president doesn't change. Nobody loses or gains control. Occupying the building and controlling the force there changes nothing.
That's why I always wondered about the term insurrection. It never really made sense to me on what happened that day.
High stakes, king of the hill. That's all it was.
That's why insurrection is the wrong term for what happened on January 6th. I would say insurrection in Portland, as it's applied legally, in that local laws are not being followed. That is a legal insurrection for which the president can invoke the Insurrection Act and call the National Guard to go shut down those riots.
Yeah, the police led the J6 event.
Right.
It's all the video of them actually giving. Unlike in Portland and other places where they took over streets and set up camp, killed innocent
Some
people.
entrances had a different dynamic, right?
Those people were Antifa and red hats.
I want to say for the
Op
record,
4 last
since there's
stop standing.
100 million people listening or whatever it is,
The diffuser is
do
now
you want
secured.
regime change in Iran in a peaceful manner in some sort? And I'm very happy with this announcement.
Op 4
Although I said I don't
eliminated.
believe anything coming out of their mouths. I'm very happy to hear it. It's very good. I know that Putin at first was like, I think we're going to help Iran. We might help them get a nuke. At least this is what I was reading these reports. And then later he's like, actually, we're just going to help them. It wasn't Putin.
Medvedev.
Oh yeah, it was Medvedev. And then they just kind of walked it back, and they're like, we're gonna help diplomatically. They just wanted to solve the problem. They don't want to blow stuff up.
And bringing it back to moms real quick, like I don't really care all that much about the nukes, honestly. I care more about sending our children to war. You know, like that's the possibility of this when it's possibly escalating, and it still could, and sending kids to war
Yeah, look,
Very,
I have
very upsetting.
two sons, 24 and 17, so they're
Yeah.
both ideal candidates.
Prime fighting age.
Yeah, if there was some kind of draft, but I still, personally, I
Yeah.
can't speak for my, all 130,000 Moms for Liberty
Friendly
members at the
drone
moment,
deployed.
but
Op
personally,
4 is
I still
reinforcing its location.
that photo, it's not up right now, but the photo of President Trump walking out with Marco Rubio behind him, what I'm talking about was really, well, that's part of it, but you see Pete Hegseth even behind that. You see all 4 or 5 of them standing there. I kept going back to that photo and just looking at these men that I feel like we've gotten to know over the last few years. These are good men that I know of. I know their spouses. I feel like I have some familiarity with them. And to see the looks on their faces, and they knew what the decisions they were making. They knew there was some
10
risk,
seconds
even if it
before
was
insertion.
calculated risk, and they felt like it was in the right direction.
Dog.
I
The
just-
B2s
5 seconds
were
before insertion.
escorted by
Located a bomb.
F-22s.
Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah, you know that video of the what is it called when you
Nice.
see what plane
We-
Yo,
yeah,
shut your
we-
faggot mouth when you see what plane when you see what plane they get, the Air Force guys or whatever, the military guys. Do you remember what that's called?
I don't fucking know. PowerPoint.
Yeah, the PowerPoint. And the guy that everyone like memes on, cause he gets the B2 and he like barely has a reaction. I wonder if he's one of the ones that fucking.
Hey man, he might be.
I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful that they are making the hard choices and leading the way.
Well, it is the suburban mom that won Trump the election. We can always point to a different demographic and say they're the ones, but we know is that Trump was trailing among suburban moms in 2020, and then they shifted rightwards in 2024. I think the gender issue played a large role in that.
If you're going to give me a second to talk about it, I'd be
Yeah.
glad to talk about what we did. And
Yeah,
we did it in
absolutely.
4 swing states: Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. We focused in on about 250,000 women that hadn't really voted in 4 years in those states, and we went and targeted them for 6 to 7 months. Hyper-local issues, Mr. Jones in your local school down the street's wearing a dress in the 5th grade class. Did you know? Make sure you vote up and down the ballot against people that are supporting this. Make sure you know that the Biden administration rewrote Title IX to allow this in that school. We sent them texts, we handwrote postcards, thousands of handwritten postcards, knocking doors, all those things. Long story short, in those 4 states, we turned out an average of 93% of those women, about 250,000 in each state. That's over 800,000 women that wouldn't have traditionally voted in an election turned out to vote.
I think angry moms definitely helped win. I mean, you saw everything that happened during lockdowns with kids.
Oh, they were
School
mad.
closures
Yeah,
and all that
so mad.
stuff.
Where were you in the past few years? Were you always a Trump supporter?
I have voted for Trump traditionally, but I'll admit in 2016, I walked into that voting booth not going to vote for him, and just.
You're gonna have to leave the show now. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Then come
I
back.
didn't vote. I didn't even vote that year. I didn't like
Oh,
either
then
of
what do
them.
you got to say about
I'm
me?
just
I
messing.
stood there and I was going to go third party, and this is like a little bit of a crazy story. The only other time I voted third party was the Bush-Gore election. And I sat up all night like, I'm the reason this is happening. Because I didn't vote for Bush. I did. It's my fault. Like, I personally felt like, we went through the hanging chads because of me. And
Yeah.
so I told myself that night I would never do third party. I kept thinking about that, and I wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And so I ended up voting for him. But it's been an interesting road. I wasn't always the loyalist that I am now.
Do you find that moms view him as icky?
Less and less.
Less and
Less
less.
and less.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's chilled out. Why do you think that is?
Look, he campaigned on several things that had to do with Moms for Liberty issues. The overreach of government. What they saw what the Biden administration did to parents that were just standing up trying to protect their children. He stood on that issue. He stood on the issue of keeping boys out of women's sports. He understands what's going on in education, and he has listened to us on those. And he came right out the gate as soon as he took office and executive order after executive order after executive
Friendly
order.
drone deployed. Op 4 is
Look, we
reinforcing
are
its
just
location.
women. We're strong, independent women. But to see someone stand up for the issues that has the power to do something about it, and to see him stand there and do that on our behalf to protect our children, he's got our support, hands down. Women are coming over left and right because of that.
Do you think Melania is a huge influence on that? Because I'm just starting to think maybe she's like really morally pushing, like helping.
Of course, behind every man there is a good woman.
Kyrie eleison.
What?
I said Kyrie eleison.
Israel. They haven't attacked us yet.
Well, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have called into question the constitutionality of Donald Trump's actions. He bypassed Congress, potentially violated the War Powers Resolution. I believe this is certainly a clear violation of international law at the very least.
Yeah, she said it. Damn good show. But before we get to these morons, we got a new giveaway. Cummins Turbo Diesel Ram, $10,000 in cash. Get in the win? You know what to do. I ain't even got to tell you. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Go to my website, fishrtwins.com. Anything you buy on my site, like damn good coffee, that blue that I'm sipping on, and anything. My swag. Automatically in the win. This one is an idiot.
Most of their missiles, long-range missiles, the medium-range missiles, but they still do a lot of damage. They have the ability to use they have the ability to activate sleeper cells, terrorism. Any response, it's interceptable.
Well, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have called into question the constitutionality of Donald Trump's actions. He bypassed Congress, potentially violated the War Powers Resolution. I believe this is certainly a clear violation of international law.
She's a lawyer. Still an
Democratic
idiot.
House Leader Hakeem Jeffries accused the president of misleading the country as to his intentions.
The fuck was that, dude?
What do you think are the possible ramifications that President Trump could face for
Go fuck
arguably
yourself.
overstepping his authority?
Well, look, constitutionally, only Congress has the power to declare war. The War Powers Act would make it
yourself.
Down to one friendly.
The president has launched military action without the approval of Congress.
Yet you
Only
keep
Congress has the power to
slaying
declare
it,
war.
dog.
The War Powers Act would make it seem very clear you need to have congressional approval on this. But president after president after president has launched military action without the approval of Congress.
Yeah.
And Congress, under Democratic and Republican leadership, has complained the president is violating the War Powers Act. This is not new. I mean, I go back. I covered Bill Clinton and the military strikes against Kosovo back in 1999. Again,
That's
no,
why I think it's more
no,
of an international
yeah,
law
and
violation.
but you know, look,
You see, doubling that, that's why I think it's an international law violation. Yeah, if you prosecute Trump for international law violations, you have to go back and get Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, all the presidents could be charged with that. But it's not against international law. He has the powers within 60 days to do whatever he wants. Yeah. When it gets past 60 days, then he has to go to Congress and say, I want to continue this. I have to declare war. But yeah, let's get into this a little bit more deeper. He violated international law.
Friendly drone deployed.
How?
Op 4 is reinforcing its location.
Just throwing statements out there with nothing about it. It's like she doesn't get, like, she's a lawyer. How? That's the thing, man. How did he violate international law? He did. Maybe Israel did, but that's what we didn't. Well, they have a right to defend themselves, Kevin. Man, that's a bunch
10
of
seconds to
hogwash.
insertion.
Did you attack somebody who hasn't attacked you yet?
5 seconds
Well,
to
they
go.
have a right to defend themselves. Okay.
You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse
You
it.
know why they say that? Hey, Kevin, I'm trying to say something, and you just gonna start talking. Who you think you are? Israel now? No, you acting like Israel right now. No, listen. You know why Israel is saying that? We have the right to defend ourselves. Because they think, right? They think they're trying to make a nuclear weapon so they can start a nuclear war with the United States and Israel. Who does that? Everybody creates a nuclear weapon to defend themselves, and they use it as a deterrent, so you want to attack them. That's why everybody has that. Yeah, a nuclear
You
weapon.
have dropped the diffuser.
People don't create nuclear arsenals to start nuclear war. It's BS. Well, it's fear mongering. Well, I guess it is fear mongering. They say they're like cavemen. I mean, that's what I've been fed. I've looked at some videos of Iran. That is a very modern city. These people are not animals. That's all just propaganda. Iran
The
is
diffuser has been recovered.
They say they support terrorism too. Define terrorism. Because we did some just simple things.
Cover the diffuser.
We dropped bombs on Japan. We fund Israel. Israel has bombed hospitals.
Let's go, dog. I'm about to be over 1,000. Oh, yeah.
I wish she was more vocal in the world. I've thought that since the beginning. I mean, she's doing what she can. I think she's a little self-conscious because her English is her second language, or not her first language. At least I think she might have said stuff like that in the early days. Her fourth language. Yeah, she speaks like
5 languages.
Genius. A genius woman.
I'm sure she's self-conscious that she speaks 5 languages fluently. Oh my gosh, she's amazing is what I'm trying to say.
And I agree. Tim, you were about to ask a question too?
No.
Oh, yeah. Melania.
I don't understand why people just feel like they can just lie.
Listen, handle you. You know, he could just shout over here, just apologize. I don't even need to be over there. He could just shout to me. Eric, I'll apologize. Eric, can I get an apology? Somebody do something they don't want to. Clip. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Oh God.
Be ready to eliminate hostiles. Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Try not to blow our cover with all the humanitarianism.
A little compassion won't hurt your cover.
fuck is this faggot doing, dude? Good,
What?
bitch. Fuck it.
Yo, come over here, mute.
Op 4, last stop.
Oh my
standing.
god, I'm fucking gold.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
The fuck was that?
Watch what smoothies do to our bodies.
Are smoothies a good option?
They were probably one of the... Next time you're at the butcher, get this for your dog. Back in the 1920s, before kibble even existed...
And that makes me think that we are just in this post 9/11.
Whoa.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
He's weak. Dude, that if I didn't fuck up that C4, that would be sick.
It's the fucking second time. What the fuck?
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Alright, dog, I'm killing him. I'm fucking killing
Nice,
him.
dude.
There's first blood to Misfits, and now Boxer is in very bad shape. Has to flash away. The wins.
I don't know what to watch.
Be ready to eliminate hostiles.
Swapping mags! Reloaded!
10 seconds. 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb.
A regular ice hammer is pretty weak and breaks doing even the most basic of hammer things. However, ice doesn't have to be this weak. Adding just a few strips of paper towel before freezing turns it into a much stronger ice cube, as you can see here. So I figured, let's take this principle to the extreme. The hammer freezes quite nicely, but of course it's not strong yet. Paper towels aren't the only
Like 7,000 years for a fucking video to even start, dude.
Ugh.
The new Elastic.
He didn't smite! I can't!
I'm trying!
Please, this
I'm trying!
Smitten, smited.
Now, it was my literal, dude, it was my first League of Legends games in like since Tyler won.
Connor and Ludwig played duo queue today.
Dog, you gotta build the Lego.
100,000 views already. Dude.
God Gaming Challenge with Sea Dog. Does he play League? Oh my god, I gotta watch this game, Odo. Oh, you can play one without me. I need to watch this game.
Few games.
Let's see it. Oh, he's playing jungle! Yo, he's playing jungle!
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, late game I get absolutely boned.
Complaining about playing.
What website was he using there?
I'm not gonna.
He's using Blitz GG. Okay,
late game
fine. He's a Fiddlesticks OTP?
Yeah, I'll literally just follow you as Sage.
Okay, let's see it.
This feels like if someone could have CCTV footage of you high as at 4 a.m. in your own house in your 10 minutes.
What
I just forgot, man. It's been a while.
Really well. You just need to go to this and here, yeah.
Who just dies?
No, he's saving his smite for his next solo queue game.
I'm not saving my smite for next solo queue. I forgot about it.
That's not a great start.
You put 2 points in W, I think, right? Don't you? If you're just gonna full clear on Fiddle.
Yeah, you do, but I didn't know that till after.
Oh, your Raptors as well. Oh, fuck, I wish I could see his minimap.
Yeah, he definitely.
Oh my god, it's a horror.
Bro, I got counter jungle. I got counter jungled
I can't see his
at an
minimap, so I don't know
Iron
what
2
happens. Who's their
game.
jungler?
I'm Iron 2.
Lose it all.
He's going for a top gank.
Coming, baby.
He's completely locked screen. I don't even know if he's low, if he's high, bro.
Oh yeah, we got this.
Okay, no flash top.
I didn't W
flash,
once there. We
maybe?
could have killed him.
Oh no, she's dead.
We literally could have
no,
killed him.
no,
I didn't W once.
No.
Oh my god, I could have done so much more.
Sake, he flashed. No, that's so bad. No, that's fine. At least the kill didn't get the kill.
This hurts to watch.
The wave is fucked. Everything's
Tough
Not a
start,
great
baby.
shot.
Tough.
Oh, thank god, his cards are up.
Access when I wanted them.
Yeah. I feel like.
This is the average Roblox.
Dude, how fucking long does it take, dude?
Team Solo Mid, better known as TSM, were one of the first powerhouse League of Legends organizations, the titans of the early LCS that stayed a consistent force well into franchising. TSM became a name that was so well known their iconic team chant became a staple across esports even when they weren't playing.
You can hear TSM. The TSM.
Love him or hate him, TSM were the reason so many people got hooked on competitive League, and in 2016, after back-to-back splits of losing to bitter rivals CLG in the finals, TSM entered the summer split on a mission to finally put their name back at the top of the table. And they meant business. In spring, they created a super team by acquiring Doublelift, the greatest player in LCS history, to pair up with Bjergsen, the other greatest player in LCS history. But it wasn't good enough. TSM's experiment with European support legend Yellowstar has not gone to plan, and the team is in panic mode after losing to the same CLG they just took Doublelift from.
And Yellowstar was fraud in 2016. Maybe in 2015 he was good at Fnatic. I know he was like known as the shot caller, but in 2016 he was a big fraud. Like just from playing against him in solo queue and stuff, this guy had no hands anymore.
If TSM are going to reclaim their former glory, they're going to need to make a change. But the move they make catches everyone off guard. To me, these 5 players will always be dubbed the Boys of Summer. This may very well be the most dominant LCS team that's ever existed, and their run caps off in a fashion you literally couldn't have scripted any better. And it turns out the greatest team in LCS history also ends up being responsible for its single greatest moment.
Doublelift turns around the fight, staying alive, so much patience, finds his time, and he takes...
And without
Ziploc team that LT Quest first. How much more reasonable doubt could there be? Jackson attacked the police investigation, especially lead investigator
Oh.
The unseen blade is the deadliest.
Full combo from Loki, 500 AD, and Blippo just crested 900 AP.
Hostile takeover in Blippo. He's trying to get away from it, but Sven with a massive shutdown.
Damage.
Bull teleport backdoor fly.
Example 50 Busio walk.
senses weakness.
Dude, why does it fucking start happening? Dude, it's either... Dude, every time.
What?
It's either Discord or OBS that makes it so I can't play this shit in full screen. It's so stupid. Whenever I play this off stream or when I'm not, we're not online, no problem.
Do not fear the
What the fuck? You blaming me, dog?
It's your fucking fault, dog.
Minions have spawned.
This is where we make.
Oh, it's like a line dance, baby.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, here we go in studio. How we doing, gents?
Doing good.
Yeah. Great. Patrick, your posture looks really good. You're sitting very upright in your seat.
I don't know who did it, but someone put out a little Instagram video that was making fun of how most politicians sit with their legs crossed.
secrets kept are weapons wasted.
Wait, like
You're
this
gonna man
cross?
spread?
Like girl cross or like this?
I don't know. It is weird that we all sit with our legs crossed.
Comfortable.
This is my favorite sitting position, right?
Who's
Like,
making fun of that, by the way?
Why
does everybody have to make fun of it? Can you do both ways?
Man, that makes no fucking sense at all, dude.
I have to switch.
Yeah.
I switched several times.
Do you have
per
a
class.
single leg sit?
I'm beating him in Siet and like a minion score, but he levels up before I do.
Well, that was a good way to start a pod. I'm
That
Forrest,
really
I'm the
doesn't
host.
make
There's Patrick
numerical
and Peter here.
sense
If you don't know
or
who I am,
logical
just
sense.
sign off.
Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, weed.
We got Broster Animal Mystery, top of the show. Haven't done one of these in a while. You're usually the one guy. I don't know what it is. I haven't read it yet.
At some point, we've only done this 2 years. Maybe get some mystery music on the board.
Enemy double kill.
Nice.
Wow, it's kind
An
of.
enemy has been slain.
I want it to be a bed of music. Score.
This won't make sense to the listeners because right now they'll be hearing that score.
Perfect. Kyle wins.
Let's hear it. Set it up.
On May 16th. We're in Ohio, right on the border of Pennsylvania.
Didn't know there's 2 states.
Someone. Any thoughts?
Male.
Chipper is the serial killer. What do you think it is?
Oh, so far?
Yeah.
All I know is they're on the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio and this guy named Chipper around.
Yeah, and that's enough information to solve it.
Based on all that information, I'm gonna guess there's a squirrel.
Okay. Chipper. Okay. So, just flooded the area.
Kyle, you need to. Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Sure.
You need to, like.
I have
First of all, you suck. Secondly,
undone.
yeah. When Patrick says heavy rain flood the area, you need to get those. Yeah, sound effects for everything.
Will this make sense to the viewers? You can add that too.
They already heard it.
All right.
Fuck you, Kyle. We love
Some
you.
of our recent
Weakness.
What's a lake?
It's a beach around here.
No, but what's the score?
Okay. That was me. You guys were. Hang on. After a few days, the water levels recede. Okay.
An enemy has been slain.
The sun recently went to Mars. They came across of. Yeah. So this. If you can pull up the picture without him saying what he thinks
The
it is.
truth lies in darkness.
Yeah, that was a good job. All right, here we go. They came across this. Ew. Looks like a bloody carcass. So, Peter, what are we seeing? Describe this mysterious animal that came out of the flood. It looks like a splayed out carcass of some sort with blood red on top of its back. And really strange, is that the skull? The face? There is.
Zoom in, it does look like a skull.
Now, Peter, about how big does this thing look to you? It's actually next to a sizable looking rock. So I would say it's maybe. Okay, I was gonna say 24.
No, it's like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I can smell this place.
Yeah. He wants to know. Chipper wants to know what type of carcass became the subject of my son's nightmares.
Kept our weapons wasted.
The blood on the top is weird, because if it's what I think, it's blood on the top of that heart.
Hard exterior.
Wow, I mean, it'd be a very large exterior.
Without a sound.
Killing
I mean,
spree.
the skull looks very mammalian to me. The skin looks posing.
Maybe a pygmy hippo?
I feel like it's more like.
Is that a turtle shell?
It could be, but if it was, it's not. I'll circle back to that. My first instinct when I see that is not turtle. And the skull, like you're looking at the skull, the head is facing towards us. Obviously, rotted. It looks like a woodchuck.
Interesting.
Like a big, fat rodent. Doesn't it kind of look like that guy?
Yeah, because they have big fat bodies.
Right. It's like it's lost its hair.
I'm gonna throw another one. Throw it back up, Kyle.
But the hair goes almost first in the detail.
Is it possible?
I thought about that too. I'm really struggling to understand the back end.
I know. Zoom in on the back end. Yeah, so if you're just looking, it is very strange. If you're just listening, it's worth taking a look. Because it almost looks like a giant sea turtle that someone cut the shell off of.
It does look like that.
But does that tail look beavery?
It's very fast.
So would you rather have Professor X's powers or Magneto's powers?
Kyle, give me one of these real quick. Google image soft shell turtle skull.
What are Professor X's powers specifically?
What is it? He's telepathic.
Turtle it could be. Go back to it. No. The only possible turtle it could be is right? So the regular turtle's got the shell.
I feel like everything
but I wasn't familiar with what a soft shell turtle
that you could do with that is fucking illegal as shit. So I don't know. I guess like shit probably
Yeah.
I mean, I get it because the skin and the discoloration does look like a turtle. It's not. It's mammalian for sure. Why don't we do this? What state were we in? Ohio? Why don't we look up mammals of Ohio?
Rampage.
I mean, this is a good one. I'd like to go to this.
Rampage.
Hit that muskrat image. Well, groundhog, that's what I said.
Utensils would you bring to grab samples? Exactly.
Scooby Bee?
So I'm sticking with my original guess, which is the groundhog there, or the
groundhog. Groundhogs are much smaller.
What did I say?
Woodchuck.
What a bunch of fucking retards, man. People just don't listen to me, man. I don't understand.
I don't know. It's pretty close.
Go to that one that's bottom. Go one over, so it's more top down. Now go back to the image.
That's pretty similar. Pretty close.
That big nose gap. Yeah. Yep.
I think I will say the nose cavity is significantly different.
Yeah, but I think that's rotted and broken. You know what I mean? Like it's starting to.
Wow, my team sucks, dude. I won 4 bot lane, I won 1 jungle. The fucking faggot joke. Nice.
This is what was our guy's name?
Chipper.
This is one that if Chipper
the Facebook thing that it's like the neighborhood watch thing?
Oh yeah, next door. or
Next door.
whatever.
Like if he had made a fuss on next door, this would have been
Right.
Yeah. Totally. Creature washes up in Creek, you know. Like,
Unlike the Mirror UK.
Yeah.
Where they put all that.
Yeah. Okay. So gun to head for me. I'm going raccoon, and I'm going raccoon.
Without a sound.
Can you just Google image rotting raccoon corpse?
Problem is, differently based on the environment.
Well, yeah, because that's in water, so
And that's why it's so bloated.
bloaty.
and everything else. Yeah.
All right. Well, those pictures. That's pretty bad.
All right. Well, that was a good mystery. I'm gonna go raccoon gun to head. The tail doesn't make sense to me. Look up the Beaver Skull.
It's probably Goal-wise, I think this could be a cryptid. This could be a cryptid.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, get the wreck.
Let's go, dog.
Kind of like that big nose cap.
I think that's just broken away. Same with the eyes. Like, see how they're not circular anymore?
So what rank are you in that game? Or does it even have a ranks?
And is there a ridge?
Well, I haven't played that.
Hard to say. Real gross.
Nice, dude. Nice!
It looks very uncomfortable.
It does. Hey, Kyle, this didn't make news, but let me ask you this. What's in the It is now. We just made it news.
I'm going to hijack real quick.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Scientists. We don't have an article here.
I have done it.
Have you heard, Forrest?
An enemy has been slain.
Large.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Oh, dude, these guys are fucking garbage.
Just do Columbia Sphere.
Whoa, wait, what? They found this? This is real?
Yep.
Peter, you gotta be all over this.
Yeah, I can get into that afterwards, but you guys got it. So basically, this fell from the sky, and it's this. But didn't they also see it flying though? Yeah. I mean, supposedly, yeah. So they have pictures of
There's a picture of it
sphere
flying right there.
and then there's claims that this is the same sphere, but you know how it is. There's no way
Turret plating will soon fall.
There was a UFO that was a sphere, and then some guy came to this and is hoaxing everybody.
Listen, I mean, a lot of people think that this is a man-made, like, object. Obviously, it has speed. It doesn't really look alien. It looks like anyone can make a sphere homebrew. Right, exactly. And a lot of times there is another example of this that was found many decades ago, I believe, that is more legit. So the verdict on this is that this is pretty. I mean, they were talking about the hieroglyphs on it and how they're like a
What the fuck are they doing, man? Holy shit, these are fucking idiots.
No, these are real.
Holy fuck, these guys are retarded.
That's it. Okay.
Like, holy fuck, these guys are so dumb.
I categorized it as hoaxy right off the bat, so I didn't really look into it that much more, just because of what I read about how it was video, and then
I couldn't imagine having
Nice.
like we've never found any other alien artifact that have like this hieroglyphic writing, and yet now you find a whole object that's just covered in what, like an ornate design. Well, but there's some interesting things about it. Studying metal has these microspheres within it.
guys are insane.
The weight of it changes.
Has destroyed
It's very odd. Well, yeah, that's why it's insane. Like it weighs.
But I mean, if you went to IKEA and bought a fruit ball, would you also find that the weight changes and it's variable and it's just like made
Your
by
turret
some
has been
factory?
destroyed.
You know what I mean? Like,
No.
is this no? I don't know.
If I weighed this table will weigh.
Oh, you're saying the weight's variable as in it changes from when they weigh? I thought you meant like different areas.
No, like the weight of it has changed. But so I asked a friend of the podcast, Gotti, who does the NBC News.
Yeah.
You know, he's been on it for us.
Yep.
Because he's very into all this stuff. Not into it. He likes to report on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, the scientists that are doing the study aren't like top experts. They're not seen as like incredibly credible by like the American news media, but it's not. And so he was, when I talked to him, I was very happy.
Well, they're probably Colombian scientists that typically study
I have done
monkeys or cells or something like that. And now all of a sudden you have this thing. They're like, well, shit, we don't have like alien guys. Yeah.
Well, it's a tough one though. It's also a tough
An
thing.
enemy has been slain.
Totally.
I mean, dude, what I really appreciate though is the fact that this stuff, these kinds of things are coming out in more mainstream.
This guy's 9 and 1, bro.
It's just being posted as like
We're so bad.
the fact that this might be some kind of come from space or something. At least they're attempting to do research on it. It's the same with those alien mummy bodies that they've been looking for. Well,
The truth lies in
you guys have all seen my cat. He's the best cat in the world. He's Persian, he's so cute. But the problem with him is he's so hairy and furry that he gets all knotted up. So what we have to do at least once a year, sometimes twice, is take him and get what's called a lion cut. Yeah,
I love when he's cut like that. He looks great.
Yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't like it very much. And so, we just did this recently, and I felt really bad because I don't think he likes it. I think he hides and stuff. So we got him this new cat food. The smallest cat food that we talked about before. But it's
Oh my god, dude.
I even took a video. I don't know if
What the fuck am I witnessing?
he runs up there, he devours it, and then he's so happy that he again wants to hang out.
It's awesome. The flavors are amazing. Like
Ground bird.
There's another flavor called bird, which is what cats would eat in the wild. Correct? They're not eating kibble in the wild. So, Lemley's older. Freaks out. I think here's the problem.
Only the worthy will survive.
An ally has been slain.
Why the fuck can I fucking hit it, man? Fucking faggot joke, bro.
Wild. That's an additional 50% off when you head to smalls.com and use promo code WILD. Again, that's promo code WILD for an additional 50% off the first order plus free shipping at smalls.com. Look, I live in a tiny house with my large family at this point, and there is nothing that drives me nuts more than a giant
Nice.
It's easy to store, comes in resealable bags you can put on the shelf. Most importantly, the dog loves it, and I feel good about feeding it to him, mostly because it contains 100% all-natural meat and superfoods and zero synthetic nutrients or artificial ingredients. My dog loves it. Hoover, his coat feels better when he's eating it. I swear to God, his coat feels denser and thicker, and it's great.
No, the reason I didn't give Luca, my dog, this type of food is because I knew the containers and the
Oh, dude, okay. Look at my screen right now. You see that number right there? 0 and 8? 0 and 3? That is why I stopped playing this game for like 6 years. Because holy fuck, dude.
Well, summer's here,
Unreal.
and so I use the scale.
Oh yeah.
Stuff because I've been really for the last few months really hitting it hard. Trying to just get healthier in general for
These are
longevity.
stats? Down 24 pounds?
That's correct.
Minus 3.4 BMI, down 2.5% body fat. That's a huge.
In 3 months.
I didn't think you had 24 pounds to lose. You do look good.
I did, and I
Yeah.
feel much better.
That's great.
And I'll tell you what it is. I changed my diet.
At Sim.
One to cut, one to seal.
Moosehead, 100%.
It's
a moment of truth.
Shizeroni brother. Wow. Yeah, dude, look at that chick's stomach, dude. Like, is that even possible to get it to look like that?
Wait, say it again?
Is it even possible for this chick on the bottom right? Like, is it possible to even have a stomach like that, or like torso?
No.
Before we get started and they introduce themselves, I'm just going to let everybody know where this came from. Laura Loomer tweeted, a lot of right-wingers, LARP is America first. If you watch their content, they're cheering for Iran. How can you call yourself America first if you cheer for a regime that chants death to America? Why can't these people just be honest and say they don't like Jews? Just say it. Why are people so afraid of being who they are? Just say it. That's Laura. Owen responded, cheering for peace is cheering for Iran. This is a false binary. It's dishonest and disingenuous. This is why Israel is losing support badly. Misfit Patriot said, you fucking retard, don't cheer for peace. You're just obsessed with Israel's demise, and you conveniently never criticize Israel's enemies. So yes, you absolute fucking clown. You're cheering for Iran by default due to your idiotic hatred for one of America's greatest allies. Owen then laid down the gauntlet, said, I challenge you to a debate on the issue. Misfit accepted, and here we are. So first, I want to give Owen and then Zach a chance to introduce themselves, and then I'm going to lay out the debate rules. So Owen Schroyer, for the people that don't know who you are, Tim Pool style, who are you, Owen Schroyer?
Thank you. Glad you could host this debate. Glad the Misfit Patriot and I could come to terms for this debate. Yeah, Owen Schroyer. I've been a political commentator, field reporter, talk show host since about 2012. I've been all over America covering politics. I've been working at InfoWars since 2016. I've hosted the InfoWars War Room since 2017. I have been through a lot for my politics, pretty much check off any box. Censored, swatted, sued, imprisoned, you name it, I've gone through it. And I do it all again because I love this country and I want to see a better America for everybody. And I think for tonight's conversation, it's also worth mentioning, I want to see a better world for everybody as well.
Awesome, Owen. Misfit, go ahead. Tell the world who you are, brother.
Yeah, very similar. Just political. I do political commentary, as a hobby. It's not my job, but I've also been, censored. I haven't been swatted, but I've had the police called on me. Just all the stuff that the left loves to do with cancel culture. And yeah, I too want to see a better world, which is why I think this is a good conversation for us to have.
Cool. And then for people that don't know, this is Jewcast, just so people can get the bias out of the way. Yes, I am a Jew. Alan, not a Jew. We have had Owen on the show before, and I'm famously I'm known for questioning Senator John Kerry, 2007. One of the questions I asked him was, why didn't he impeach Bush before he could take us to war with Iran? So those are some of my priors. Check out the show if you'd like the debate. We had Owen Benjamin on. Anyway, this is going to be great. I have a coin, an actual coin, so that we can figure out who's going to go first. Owen is going to be heads. Misfit, you're going to be tails. We'll flip it. I promise I flipped it fairly. Tails, we're going to give Misfit first. And then we're going to do it 3 minutes for an introduction, 2 minutes for a rebuttal, and then 1 minute final blast off. And then we're going to let them go without any moderation. I'm going to throw in some questions later, and we might even take questions from the audience. So 3 minutes as soon as you start, Zach.
Yeah, so Owen challenged me to a debate. I always accept debates for anybody that challenges me, as long as they're, I have a rule. If you're a real person, if you're not an anonymous account, you have a decent following, I will accept any debate. So that's why I'm here. And as far as what the debate topic is, I guess it's really the issue that he was referring to, where, talking about how if you want peace, then it doesn't mean you hate Jews. Now, I don't know Owen that well. I watch his content. I don't know if he hates Jews. I don't think automatically that people who question Israel or question Iran hate Jews. I know he works at InfoWars. I know there are people that are, towing the line. I know they have people on there like Nick Fuentes, who I would say clearly has a bias towards Jews. But I think that a lot of people use their
sometimes to save someone,
just asking questions
you must fight
to as a shield for.
Come on! What is this nonsense? Guys, I need some help. I'm lagging like crazy. Are there any other better emulators? I don't want to get bullied again because of lag. Yeah, right. Lag. LOL.
Hey, maybe
maybe try the official PC version? Rise of Kingdoms PC version gives governors the ultimate experience in multiple scenarios.
Once named.
Fighting and communicating with your allies is so much easier. Smooth frame rate and high-quality graphics also help governors with their overall experience. Oh, and of course, you can swap up.
Their bias towards the Jewish people. Again, not necessarily saying that is Owen, but based off of his response to Laura Loomer, it's the same talking points that I hear. So that's why I gave him that rebuttal. So I'm going to go through a few things in this debate. You know, I just wrote down some notes. Like, for instance, the threats to the U.S. from Iran, which there's plenty of. Khamenei, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Hope they took him up. There was rumors of that. His tweets calling America, you know, the great Satan. I'm assuming Owen is probably going to jump in here with the talking point of Iraq versus Iran, where it's like, oh, it's just like Iraq with the weapons of mass destruction, even though it's not. And we're going to try to really drill down on why I think that America being in a partnership with Israel taking on radical Islamic terrorism and Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, is a good thing. Doesn't necessarily mean boots on the ground, but I think that we need to do it because we need to send a message to the world that the old ways of appeasing terrorists, leaving money on tarmac, and making deals are over. These people are fucking trying to infiltrate and take over every nation that they're into, and they do, I don't care what anybody says, want to see every man, woman, and child in America either converted or fucking killed. It's their doctrine. So, that's my position, and I'm happy to get into that with Owen. Thanks, guys.
We have 18 seconds left. Owen, give me a sec to reset the timer.
Storm of blades.
Oh my fucking! Oh,
I'll take a brief moment here, and then I can really just respond to some of the things that he laid out. I think, generally speaking, our relationship with Israel has cost us foreign policy-wise. I think that it's more than fair for Americans to be critical of Israel, considering that we subsidize its entire existence. We subsidize its healthcare, its education, and its military with our tax dollars. And then on top of that, we provide additional military support as well. And if you look at our foreign policy for the last 30 years, you could even argue 40, it's been a disaster in the Middle East. And I think that that's mostly because of the influence of Israel over our foreign policy. Now, you could argue if this is just good intentions, the road to good intentions leading to hell, or you could argue that maybe Israel has something else going on with things like the Jeffrey Epstein client list, blackmailing our politicians, and of course the influence of AIPAC over our Congress as well, which makes you wonder, if we do go to war with Iran, will Congress even vote for it? Will it matter? Will they say anything? Or will their AIPAC handlers tell them to shut up and let it happen? So I think it's time to re-examine our foreign policy. I think it's time for America to re-examine Israel's influence on our foreign policy. And I would say this is not opinion. This is just a matter of fact, and I don't know if anybody would disagree, but if you really care about Israel, or maybe more importantly, if you care about the people of Israel, then you have to realize that its current actions are putting them in a less safe position. And if you realize that America and its support of Israel is a necessity for Israel's existence, you must realize that in the current trend, in 10 to 20 years, there won't be any support of Israel. The boomers and the older generations that were propagandized into supporting Israel all this time, not to be morbid, but it's true, they'll be dead. And the younger generations, who now, you could argue, are probably anti-Semitic, some of them, they won't want any support of Israel. So if you care about Israel, Netanyahu is the regime change that you need. And if you care about Israel, then you better realize if you don't change tact soon, 10 to 20 years, there will be no support from the United States of America. And I'd hate to see what happens to Israel after that.
Meet Priya. She makes bank with EQ Bank. Her EQ Bank personal account lets her move forward without monthly fees holding her back. So she always stays a step ahead. Keep going, Priya. Make bank.
Thank Thanks to Freedom Mobile's affordable Canada, US, Mexico plans, Randy's not worried about overpriced roaming fees while traveling. But he should worry that Hot Peach is open for just days. Maybe look that up, Randy.
Okay, you had a minute left on the clock, but Zach, you can go ahead with your 2 minutes.
2 minutes to start what?
Just rebuttal, man.
Okay. So, one rebuttal on Owen's opening would be his statement that the U.S. that Israel controls America all the time. APAC, they're somewhere around number 20th in lobbying, or 20th in donations, 199th to 200th in lobbying. We have so many other PACs from so many other countries, and I never hear the actual logical argument on how they control Congress. Right? It's just a theory. It's a conspiracy theory. But now I will also say, I say this every time I make this point, I think all PACs should be illegal. So I do think that Israel does have influence, but so does realtors, the pharmaceutical industry, the healthcare industry, all these things, right? And there's dozens of them, almost a dozen, 2 dozen for to get to Israel. We have APAC.
Oh, what the
What dog?
fucking again? My fucking bot miners allow 4 people to come mid. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
You have the influence of George Soros-funded organizations and NGOs that are literally destroying our country. It's the shit that we can see with our eyes, right? You can actually see these things on the street. But you don't hear people. I don't know. I don't know if Owen's covered this, but you don't hear people like Owen outraged about the influence Qatar has over our country and how it's destroying our nation. You only hear about APAC. And APAC is a political action committee, right? A political action committee run by Americans. It's American Israelis. And yeah, they're going to have their interests in Israel, just like the Italian PAC has in Italy.
Hang on to the rest of your thought there. We're going to let Owen go ahead with his 2 minutes. Go ahead when you're ready.
Yeah, so this is fun Israeli propaganda that he is falling for. What influence does Qatar have over the United States of America?
You want me to rebuttal? I mean, well,
I just want to know. I don't know what you're talking about. Where is the Qatari influence?
What's $200 billion in college institutions doing in our country from Qatar?
Okay, so you're telling me that Qatar donates to our colleges? What does Israel give to our colleges?
I'm not sure. I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Oh, wonderful. So you're telling me I could have a foreign country that actually gives me billions of dollars? I don't have to give billions of dollars to a foreign country? I kind of like that deal better. But that doesn't answer the question. Where is the An enemy of America. You know our most important air base is in Qatar. You know the base that we use to fuel Israel and deliver the military support is also in Qatar?
Yeah, you know where Bagram Air Base was? Yeah, we have bases in enemy territories. That's like the Tucker Carlson talk.
You realize that Qatar is a very strong ally of America, though. Like,
how
that's
are they a
just
strong ally of America? They're the #1 sponsor of Hamas. They're sponsored.
I thought it was Iran.
No. They're an Iranian proxy, no?
Oh, Qatar's an Iranian proxy. Yeah, they don't have their own money. They don't have their own oil money. They don't have their own leadership. That's just clowns. That's just a clown comment.
But I mean, hold on. Why do you think Qatar is a clown?
Who put this Qatar thought in your head?
No. What evidence do you have that they are an ally?
What evidence do you have that they're not? I can play this game all day long. They are a very strong ally.
Hold on, they chant death to America in
Qatar?
that region. Qatari leadership has spoken against
hey,
America.
you know they chant death to America in Seattle too? Should we bomb Seattle? They chant death to America in Austin, Texas. Should I bomb Austin too? Should I call Netanyahu to bomb Austin because somebody chanted death to America? Where did the words hurt you?
Okay, that was 2 minutes. Let's give Zach a full 1 minute to shut it down. and then Owen, you can have a minute, and then Owen for you.
I love how Owen's debate tactic is a false equivalency off the rip. So see, in Seattle, if you have some liberal that chants death to America, it's the same thing as these literal radical Islamic terrorist organizations that are continually showing a pattern of behavior of animus towards this country. I mean, you just had a completely different radical terrorist group, but you had somebody in New Orleans that was Texas that was radicalized. Drive through New Orleans in January and drop people with a fucking ISIS flag on the back of his car. I don't understand why you people don't take their words seriously. Like, their words hurt you when they create action. The fucking Israeli battlefield museum that were just shot a couple of weeks ago when some dickhead was screaming "Free Palestine," those words turned into actions, and that's when they hurt us on American soil. I have never seen somebody that's saying that they're supportive of Israel, shooting up people in America or blowing up people in America or doing anything that hates America because they don't chant death to America. They chant death. They chant America's our ally.
Go ahead, Owen, and then you guys can just have a
Storm of Blades. Why do radical Islamists hate America? Let me ask you that.
I don't care.
Okay, so that just shows you how ignorant you are that you don't want to switch your answer. That's great. I'm glad you responded like that. You don't care.
I'm on Team America. They hate us, correct? As long as they hate us, I don't care why.
Okay.
If they hate us,
so you don't care why. You don't want to reach root causes, and so that's why you lose debates. The reason why radical Islam hates us is because of our support for Israel. Israel gets away with everything in the Middle East, any regime change they want, any death murder count that they want, and they get away with it all because here comes Big Brother America to back them up. That's why they hate us. That's why they call us Satan. If we didn't back Israel and all of their wars and all of their death, then they wouldn't hate us. They'd have nothing to do with us.
So why did they hate Israel?
I just told you why they hate Israel.
No, you said why they hate America. They hate America for supporting Israel. Why do they hate Israel?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 50,000 dead Palestinians. That might be a good place to start. Maybe regime change all over the world. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya. I mean, I can go on. Syria.
In the past, how many terrorist attacks have happened? I don't think you have over 60. How many happened by or Israel? So I'm saying I don't understand how you don't.
It's about you. This is about you.
No, I corrected
Iran's war and us being involved in it.
But I corrected. I said how many terrorist attacks have happened in the name of Israel, right?
So are we debating Jews and Islam, or are we debating Iran and Israel's war and us being involved in it? I just want to try to figure this out.
Well, to get to the problem with Iran, you have to get to the, like you just said, get to the root cause, which is
now you care
radical
about
Islam.
Okay.
Radical Islam, right?
Okay.
Radical Islam. The people who chant death to America used to call us a great Satan. They hate Israel because they're Jews. And yeah, you're right. They hate us because we support Israel. And they want. There has been. This is a 3,000-year-old holy war. Every single attack in that region that has happened since I don't know, like 1948, has been started by the Arabs, not the Israelis, right? Since the Arabs, every single attack has been started by the Arabs. So if they're starting wars and they're saying that they're showing you a pattern of behavior that they want to do, they want to
Holy fuck, dude.
with death and destruction, and then they chant death to America. That's why I said I don't care why they hate us, because I know that they hate us, and I know how they solve problems with people they hate. You know, and letting them enrich uranium to the point where they might have a nuclear weapon. A lot of people have this ignorant logical fallacy that they're not going to be able to fire a rocket across the ocean at us. They don't need to. They can make a bomb, either put it with one of their cells that are already here, or bring it over the border, and they can blow it up in one of our cities. So no, I don't want Iran to have
Okay, cool. Neither do I. Now notice everything you just said there has nothing to do with America. You mentioned a bunch of foreign countries on a foreign part of the earth that has nothing to do with America. I don't want to be involved in a 3,000-year-old holy war. I don't want to be involved with Iran. I don't want to be involved with any of these countries. That's the point. That's the problem. Our coupling to the Middle East, specifically through Israel, has been a disaster for us. It cost us $9 trillion minimum. Some estimates are $21 trillion, not to mention tens of thousands of American lives when we went into Afghanistan and we went into Iraq.
What did that have to do with Israel? What did Afghanistan have to do with Israel?
Oh, you mean that regime change is not what Netanyahu's been calling for since the 90s?
Hold on. What did that particular regime change have to do with Israel?
Benjamin Netanyahu has been lobbying Congress since 1982 for every regime change in the Middle East that we've now seen, and now Iran is next on the list. He's also said Pakistan, which is a nuclear power, okay? So good luck with that if you want to have peace. So yes, it has everything to do with Israel. Who attacked us on 9/11? It had nothing to do with Iraq. It had nothing to do with Afghanistan. These are Israeli regime wars.
It's like if you guys stub your toe, you're dead. I really don't understand. Like, all right, so George Bush, by the way, the Iraq war was a fucking disaster. It was a clusterfuck that George Bush should be fucking in prison for. So you're not going to find any disagreement with me.
I know you're agreeing with me. Thank you.
No,
It's beautiful.
I will, because it's a completely different situation. You have George Bush, the corrupt cunt who wanted to do a crazy, like, I guess, service to his homage to his father by lying and going in there and talking about weapons of mass destruction that weren't there and putting us into that region for 20 years. You're not with this.
You just want to do it all again.
That's not what we're
Hold on. If we get involved with the ground, 100% ready. Guaranteed. Israel's already asking for it. What are you talking about? Netanyahu's already asking us to get involved. He's already asking for bunker busters and everything. We're already sending shit. Oh, okay, cool. Because that's how they'll view it. It's just our bombs, and then they won't want to target us. Nice line.
Iraq, right? It was a coalition of it had nothing to do with Israel, right?
That's true. That's right. Israel didn't go boots on the ground. It was all us. Israel didn't even help us. They didn't even have a single boot on the ground.
Hold on, but that was put together because Saddam Hussein was an evil cunt over there, and I think.
Oh, here we go. So what? So what?
Hold on. That was just an evil dictator that they. Right now, what we have is we have Khomeini who is a threat to the United States. We have terror attacks already happening with Islam in America, and we have tensions boiling up because they Western civilization. This is what I don't think that you guys understand. You have a of this whole thing where you're just like, not my country, not my problem, and it takes a September 11th for people like you to wake up and go, fuck, maybe that guy Misfit was right, and we should have paid more attention to it. I'm not saying that we need to go all incursion, boots on the ground war. What I am saying is, I think America should give Israel the supplies they need to take out the nuclear facilities and take out the leadership. No, I'm not saying, and by the way, I don't even say, when I say give, I should have rephrased that.
Let me ask you a basic question. We've had a lot of time. Let me ask you a basic question. Okay, and what does history tell us? What does history tell us?
Well, what common sense tells us is leaving well enough alone.
I asked you what history tells us.
History tells us that
Okay, so we agree. So let me ask you this: Do you believe the official September 11th narrative?
Demons take many forms.
You're basing your entire ideology and argument off of something you don't even know if you believe is true. Is that what you're telling me?
Because you're gonna jump to September 11th and Jeffrey Epstein. September 11th shady? Yes. Did Tower 7 go on by itself? No. Did the Jews do it? Also no. Like, that's, you guys any other answer.
You're the one that tried to pin my ideology on September 11th. And you're saying you don't even believe it.
If I could step in for just a second, Owen's question was the same question that popped in my head when you said he has a September 10th mentality. Who do you think was responsible for
An enemy
September
has
11th?
been slain.
It's fucking
Shut
probably a combination of the
An ally
CIA
has been
working
slain.
with some shady people. So there's probably some truth to conspiracy, but the notion that Shady and Mossad worked together and made Osama bin Laden Osama bin Laden wanted to blow up the Twin Towers and do it the Twin Towers. Like, so Osama bin Laden did it. Now, you guys want to go into the conspiracies here. You're saying Osama bin Laden did not blow up the Twin Towers. It wasn't,
totally, dude. Totally. Osama bin Laden from a cave in Afghanistan.
Yeah, it
ran
wasn't
the
the
entire operation.
hijackers.
That's totally what happened. Osama bin Laden, who was a CIA asset.
So the
Yeah,
hijackers
I'm
weren't-
sure.
the
I'm sure.
hijackers weren't
No,
at
no, no.
our-
9/11 was an inside job. Who knows all the different parties responsible? It's probably just like the assassination of JFK. There's probably a bunch of different parties that had an interest in it. And it did exactly what it was intended to do with you.
Create your custom insurance package with the only unbundled home insurance in Canada. That means protecting only what's most important to you. Saving money. Get your policy in 5 minutes. Robot cleaned up.
To get you to support regime change in the Middle East, to get you to support never-ending wars in the Middle East, and you sit here and you admit it was all a bad idea, and yet you're ready and willing to jump into another one as if you're denying your own ideology and your own belief system.
You're putting words in this, right? Osama bin Laden blew up.
I bring the light round.
Right?
So
Now,
you do
where's-
believe the official narrative?
Yes, but I believe the official narrative is the CIA was involved in a bunch of shady shit, including regime changes and
Wait,
meddling.
hold on.
Meddling.
Time out. Do you think planes took down the Twin Towers?
Yes. The planes took down the Twin Towers. You know how I know that? Owen, how old are you? How old are you, Owen?
I'm 35.
You're 35. I'm 40, so I'm 5 years older than you. I think you're a little too young to remember it, but I remember it. Everywhere.
I don't need to remember it. I can go look at videotape. It's clearly a controlled demolition. I don't have propaganda brain. I have reasonable, logical thinking brain, and I can watch videos and see a controlled demolition. Clearly there were explosives in all 3 of those buildings, and that's why they fell straight down like a controlled demolition. You see that reality with your own eyes. When you have propaganda brain, and everything else you say should be completely discounted because you cannot think for yourself.
You're going off of videotape. I'm going off of actual memory, right? I know people who were in New York City that watched planes fly into the fucking building.
Did I ever deny a plane flew into the building? Talk about putting words in your mouth. Did I ever deny that?
I think planes took out the Twin Towers.
Yeah, they did. Demolition did. Planes flew into the buildings.
So
that
we're
was a
talking about-
distraction.
Okay, so planes flew into the building, and then you're saying that there was a control demolition after all three were destroyed, right?
Redemption is a light.
Maybe.
Hold on. Bro, I don't speak in absolutes unless I can prove it. You can.
What do you think, dude? It's literally a building, and then it's a controlled demolition. What other proof do you need?
It looks
do you need do you want the building to send you a little letter like, hey, somebody blew me up? Like, what else do you want?
This is the difference between critical thinkers and conspiracy theorists. I don't speak in absolutes unless I can prove it. It looks like a controlled demolition. Alright, that's
Well, I'm glad we can sacrifice it.
If I can cut in real quick, Alan is raising his hand. I think he has a pertinent question. Alan, go ahead.
Sorry, I muted myself. I'm a big fan of the show. I watch it. So, I just, for the sake of argument, I have never, ever seen anybody, but you can't deny that it's a controlled explosion. No. I mean, none of them. Okay? They fall right in on their footprint, man. Like these are massive structures, massive structures, and they fall directly on the imprint after getting struck by something on one of the sides.
I have a theory on that.
If they would have fallen from the planes, there would have been a fall towards the impact side of the plane. Right.
Sure.
So, falling straight down. That's a controlled thing.
I think that I have a theory on that. You guys can, you know, either scoff at it or not, but I have a theory that there is controlled demolition was pre-made into the structure. You can't see anything that could happen, and they threw it up because they figured if it falls down, it's going to take off.
That's exactly what Larry Silverstein said afterwards. Lucky Larry, he said, you know, it was just such terrible loss of life, so we made the decision to pull the building.
Yeah, and it makes sense, but you know, like I said,
it totally makes sense.
Well, it makes a lot. It makes
sitting in a building that pedestrians
it makes a lot. Well, it makes a lot more sense than putting controlled demolitions into a building that has hundreds of thousands of people in it without anybody knowing.
It doesn't make any sense at all. Because they did it for what reason? Again, trillions of dollars in the Middle East, multiple regime changes in the Middle East. That's why they did it. And guess what? Now they got a nice little convenient spy grid to spy on everything you do here too, and feel you up at the airport.
Can I ask you something? How would this get all of that controlled demolition into the building? Unless it was architecture.
I don't know, but that's much more believable that it was already there and just waiting to be exploded. Just explosives, just thousands of explosives in the Trade Center every day when pedestrians are walking around. But hold on a second. We're getting a little off track here. I'd like to get back to the subject, okay? And I think that we need to focus on the issue, which is the relation between the United States of America and Israel. That's the debate. Again, if Israel wants to attack Iran and take out what they claim is their nuclear capability, which I think is a lie. They've been telling us since 1985 that Iran was moments away from a nuke, and it's never happened. I think Israel is blowing up
winning,
evidence right now
dog?
because they know it's not. They know it's not true. And Israel, which you could argue.
What would you say to men who think therapy is a sign of weakness?
When you have a proven plan for finding support and help, whether that's reading the manual when you're fixing your car, or going to get or in this case, going to sit down and everyone around you choose to not go into those spaces is ego and fear. It's a choice to be more
Has the best intelligence network in the world, so good that they can penetrate Hamas and give them pagers to blow them up, so good that they can penetrate Iran, build a drone base, and do targeted strikes on military leaders, but they can't give us any evidence, not a single scintilla of evidence of any proof of nukes, even though they've been telling us since 1985. I don't believe that for one single second. It is the same thing as Iraq. They just switched it to Iran. They switched weapons of mass destruction to nukes. They switched Saddam to Khomeini. It's the exact same playbook, and because people like you still fall for it, they're going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm not falling for anything. What I'm saying is that if step by, yeah, okay. Well, just because they've been trying to build a nuke for this long and they're fucking over that.
Okay, so they can't build a nuke. So then what are we doing? So if they can't build a nuke, then what are we doing?
All right, so they have nuclear facilities, right? And it's basically like, okay, let me put it to you this way. All right, if somebody has all of the materials in their house to build a bomb in their house, right? And let's say they just it's like, you know what? I want to blow up that. I want to blow up my neighbor's house, right? Like they're tweeting about it. They're calling their neighbor the Great Satan, and they got all the materials that they can to build a bomb in their house. The neighbor might be inclined to go call the cops and be like, I don't think they should have the materials to build that bomb because they're still a little crazy, and I'm afraid they're going to blow up my fucking house, right? And that's all that I think that most logical people are saying is, I don't care if it takes 20 years or 20 minutes. I don't want them to have the capability to build a fucking
All right, so
bomb.
what do you have to enrich uranium to get a nuclear weapon like they're saying? Do you know?
No, not off the top.
So it's probably about 60%. People take 60%, you could maybe start getting at 30% at the lowest. Now, when they blew up allegedly, when they blew up the uranium enrichment facilities, Israel said that there was no fallout. There was no nuclear fallout. Do you realize that's literally impossible to be at 30%, especially 60%, and have no nuclear fallout after blowing up the facility? That's literally impossible. So I guess they had nothing, or is Israel lying?
Okay, so what Khamenei has come out and said and tweeted that if America can have a nuclear weapon, why not?
Okay, well, you didn't answer the question, but I'm okay with that logic. Why does Israel get nukes and the Samson option, but Iran doesn't? How do you think Iran feels about that?
They've shown a pattern of behavior that they're
No. Don't play this. Don't play this game. Don't play this because Iran doesn't care. Do you think Iran falls for that and says, "Oh, Israel's so much better than us. They can have nukes."
Making a logical fallacy, like a false equivalency for Israel and Iran, is a ridiculous statement. It's like, why can Israel have it? Why not Iran? Why can we have it?
An ally has been slain.
Right? It's why is it that America can have nukes?
You don't think that's a fair question?
I think it's a stupid question to say that the people who literally champion America and the ideology that is.
I don't want Iran to have a nuke. So man me here. But Iran looks at Israel that hates their guts, wants regime change, and they have nukes. Do you think Iran is going to sit there and say, "Fine, we'll never have nukes"? Of course not.
Sure, I understand that Iran wants nukes, right? And I think that we're both in agreement that they shouldn't have them. So the argument here is you don't think that they can, so you don't think that anything is done, right? And what's your evidence of that?
What's your evidence that they have nukes?
Because they keep on telling us that they're saying it. It's not like
they say they want nuclear power for their country. Now, you may not believe that, but again, if you believe they're enriching uranium, at least 30 to 60%, then there would be nuclear fallout when they bomb the enrichment facilities, and they claim there is none. So where is it?
Oil wants to switch to nuclear power, right?
Why wouldn't they? Everybody should.
They want to switch to nuclear power.
If I could step in for just a second and move the debate along a little bit. This debate is clearly about America's interest, the cost benefit, why should America go to war? Zach, could you just tell us, what do you think the cost would be to America in going to war, and what do you think the expense would be? What do you think we would have to do? How many troops on the ground? What weaponry are we giving? And then what's it cost to America, both in money and in terms of American lives? What are you willing to sacrifice?
This is a great question, and I've been very clear about this, and I think I might surprise Owen here, right? I don't want a single American soldier in Iraq, right? I don't want them to go down to Israel. They don't need us, right? Now let's start off, if I can, real quick with the benefits of our relationship with Israel up until this point, right? First of all, you have all these $300 billion in trade. It's like, okay, in direct spending, over an 11-year period, there was a net positive.
Thanks to Freedom of the Wild's affordable plan, Sam's not worried about getting a great connection at a great price. But he is worried about a different kind of connection. We give help.
That offsets our foreign aid to Israel of about $1 billion a year, right? Not a lot, but that's enough. And then we have the strategic intelligence sharing operations. We have all this other stuff that we can go into. Let's just go from the self-monetary capitalist bucket. We make money off our relationship with Israel because we sell the money. Now, what do I want us to do?
And that's why they call us the Great Satan. Yeah, go ahead.
So I want us to sell Israel weapons to win their war. But I do think that we have a vested interest in making sure that Iran, under its current leadership, right, the IRGC, the Iranian leadership right now is an evil regime that hates Israel and hates America. Now, the solution that Owen has, I don't care. They will have to. Okay, the process we're coming in from right now, what we have in front of us, number think that it's time to get in front of that and go, okay, bad. We should at least stop these people, and then yeah, sure, if they have change and it's just as bad, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But at least right now, we need to stop these people from doing the bad things that they clearly want to do and have eluded. But as far so to answer your question, sorry for that long. To answer your question, the cost to America, I think, will be selling weapons. And I think that it wouldn't be like Ukraine. You should give them money. I want us to sell them weapons, and I want us to provide air support and any type of aerial support as long as it doesn't put an American soldier in life. That's what I think it should be.
And you don't think that would have any blowback from the people that you claim hate America and want to kill America?
What are they gonna do?
Oh, okay,
Like,
perfect.
what are they
So then we don't need to get involved then.
No, but
Great.
I'm saying if
So
we
they won't
if
do
we go,
anything either way. Beautiful.
Alright,
I'm glad that we reached that conclusion.
But if we go bomb their fucking nuclear facilities, what are they gonna do? Like, tell me.
I don't know. Ask Israel.
What
Why don't
capability
you ask
do they
Israel
have?
what they're going to do? Why don't you ask the people that are living in bomb shelters right now?
They just fired like a barrage on Israel, and there was only 11 casualties. So
According
I'm saying,
to what? You don't know that.
There was 11. That's what the reports are. I mean,
Okay, great. So you're okay with 11 people dying?
No, I'm not okay with it. I'm saying.
Oh no, you justified it. You said it's good.
I'm saying that if Iran fires all of their artillery at a country the size of New Jersey and can only take out 11 people, what are we worried about?
I agree. We shouldn't be worried about Iran. Thank you. Now you see it my way. Exactly. We shouldn't be worried about Iran. It shouldn't be our issue. I'm glad that we reached this conclusion. But see, why don't you seem to care about the Israeli people? They're living in bunkers right now. Because of what Netanyahu did in Iran, they're literally living in bunkers with air raid sirens going off. Is that the life you want for Israel?
They're not living in bunkers. I know plenty of people in Israel. My friend was in his apartment while they were going on. They moved to the shelters temporarily, then they go right back to their apartment. And you know, that's the funny thing. You say that like it doesn't prove my point. They're constantly having to move to shelters and air raid sirens going up. They're constantly being attacked by proxy
Israel does nothing. Israel does nothing. You know the state of Israel has killed more people in the Middle East than any other country in the Middle East in the last 50 years. Well, you got minimum 50,000 in Palestine, maybe 100.
You're taking the numbers from
Not to mention the wars in Syria, the wars in Jordan, the wars in Lebanon, the
How
wars
are they
in
responsible for the war in Syria?
What are you talking about? They just got the regime change they wanted. Now they have an Israel-friendly president who's willing to engage in their war in Iran. Assad wasn't, so they overthrew him. And now they got a new one. Thousands of people died in the process. Israel, we're having a conversation here, dude.
Israel's direct conflict is with Hamas and Palestine. That's the only conflict that you can count the deaths in.
They just struck Iran. They struck Jordan.
Well, yeah,
they struck Lebanon. Give me a break, dude. What world do you live in?
Lebanon, Jordan, and the surrounding areas are all firing rockets into Israel. Right? That's why.
Yeah, so it looks like Israeli leadership does a great job with peace. When did I say that? I'm saying I don't want anything to do with any of these psychotics.
Good dog, you win.
All of them. All they do is fight all the damn time. They're always firing rockets at one another. I want nothing to do with them. It's time to...
How do you know it's not you?
Because I'm not letting the other team kill me every 2 seconds. I'm max level. That's my team is max level.
I want nothing to do with any of them. Any of them.
Yeah, that's a coward approach.
It's an America First approach is what it is. Why don't you go to Israel, coward? Go sign up for the IDF. Go sign up. Go be like Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner dresses up like a woman and goes over to Israel. You go over there, buddy. Go over there and fight. Put on the fatigues. Go fight.
You're like, I don't want us to get into a war because I'm scared. We won't be. America used to be feared and respected around the world. Why do you think so little of America and our military that will be scared?
I'm the one that thinks little of it. You're the one that wants to use it for foreign entanglements. But I think little of it. Okay. How many more Americans do you want to die in the Middle East? How many more.
I just told you none.
Okay, so then we don't get involved. Do you get that or not?
What do you mean? Why wouldn't we? They can't let you have more good stuff.
They want America involved. You gotta make up your mind, bro.
How many attacks in the name of Islam have there been on Israeli soil this year? Just a big one. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it is more than that. But on the headline, you just had the guy who was Molotov cocktail.
Welcome to search and compare prices on flights, cars, and hotels from hundreds of travel sites. Then do what people do. Check sites Kayak already checked. Play word game, play different word games. Troy, cool word, thought it would be worth more. Back to the Kayak app for a great deal.
What is your point? What does this have to do with the Iran war?
This is about that ideology.
Yeah, that team is fucking horseshit.
Oh yeah. How many Muslims are there on the planet? Yeah, you think they all want to kill Americans?
Not all of them.
Thank you. That's good.
All right, so
I'm glad you admit that.
That's a good point. If it's 10%, if it's only 10%, which it's more, it's a lot more. But if it's only 10%, that's 200 million. That's 200 million people that
again,
want to
you're distracting. I'm not denying that Islam is not compatible with the West, and I don't like the fact that we've imported all of these radical jihadis. Do you know why they?
All right, I'll be back.
Guy. Fuck.
came here? Because we blew the hell out of their countries.
Dude,
because we got involved with Israel and we blew the hell out of their
Israel,
countries, and now they're coming here. That's why they're here.
Why
Because
did they
they've
go-
been
okay.
relocated because we destroyed their country.
Why did they go? Why did they go to Europe then and do the same thing?
Just on my phone
why
now.
is it always our fault and Israel's fault? Everywhere they go. So you look at Germany. You look at the rape statistics that have gone through the roof. You look at the UK. You look at the rape gangs and the fucking stabbings that are happening. You look at Russia.
Yeah, why are they there?
You look,
why
at,
are they there?
you look at Russia with the bomb. Russia's like buddy with Iran, but they still go over there and they fucking shoot up a fucking concert hall. Dude, you don't get it. Iran is the number one. Iran is the number one state sponsor of terrorism, and we have terrorists here because Iran is creating more terrorists, and we should stop Iran from creating fucking terrorists. I don't understand why you don't see the fucking.
Why are they here? What Iran terrorists are
Oh,
here?
it must be our fault, right? It's always our fault and Israel's fault. It's never the actual fucking Muslims who do terrorist shit's fault. It's always an
these are
excuse.
straw man arguments.
You're creating a straw man argument.
No, I've not said any of those things. We had bad open border policy that brought radical Islamic in here. There's probably terror cells in here. And because of the wars in the Middle East, radical jihadists that hate us because we blew up their homes and relocated them that were never compatible with the West now live in Europe and now live in the United States of America. If their homes weren't blown up, they wouldn't be here.
When there's nobody else over there intervening, they blow up each other. They shoot each other.
I agree. I want nothing to do with it. Thank you. Amen.
Dude,
stop it.
It's like cancer that's gonna spread whether you get out or not.
Why does it spread?
Dude,
we don't have to let it all in. We don't have to deal with any of it. We can totally decouple.
Decoupling and isolationism. That sounds
here we
really
go.
great.
Isolationism. Here comes the next one. Here comes the next talking point. Let's go.
Sounds really great on paper, but when you just let your enemies just go run around and fucking do their own thing, and you go, I'm out of it, they start conspiring against you. They grow and they fucking fortify, and then they come over here. That's exactly how it is. That's exactly how it is.
Yeah, we get less involvement in the region, and then they're more inclined.
Look what happened with fucking Hitler.
Good logic.
Hitler was an isolationist. How did that work out? They fucking regrouped, and he fucking created.
I was wondering how long it would take to get to the Holocaust, World War II. It actually took longer than I thought. Good job. It only took you 45 minutes.
Okay, so what's your solution? Your solution is, right, get out of the Middle East, come to America, strengthen.
Fuck is that?
Have you ever heard of Van Halen?
Yo, shut that fucking gay shit off, dude.
This guy's a faggot, dude.
We got the first thing that I did was I went live. So
I had about an 8-hour drive. So after my stream earlier, I drove. I'm all the way home. I literally just walk in the door, drop my bags, and start a live stream. So how's everybody doing? And yeah, it's going to be a very interesting day because we had the reports earlier that we have a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. And that was supposed to begin 6 hours from the time that Trump made this tweet. Now, it gets a little more complicated because there's a few more details in there. Yeah, the reaction has been crazy. I was on Twitter and I was absolutely going off on everybody. I was taking my victory tour for sure, and it was a lot of fun. And we'll see, but I don't know the latest in the last few hours. I don't really know what was going on.
Do you hear about the ceasefire, Doug?
So we're gonna go through everything. I'll give everybody time to get in here. Dark Schwartz Rising with a 50. Ed says 199. Look at there. Thank you, Dark Schwartz Rising, for the $50 super chat.
Do you hear about
Let's
the
freaking go.
ceasefire?
Milton 199 says Jeremy. I
Holy
believe that's my
fucking
statement.
hell, man. No.
One of the greatest comedies of all time, right there. Office Space. Yeah, so I've completely been taking a victory tour on this one, a victory lap. So I posted this. I said 6'3", 200. Hang on. Why is it? I don't care about reaching more followers. 6'3", 215 pounds, shredded and saving the world. This is what the peak alpha male physique looks like. You don't have to like it, but this is what the peak alpha male looks like as he is saving the world. Shredded alpha male. And I love how is everybody having a good time? So you don't have to like it, but this is what the peak male physique looks like. So yeah, I kind of was like, I tweeted the Panikin's struggling really bad, and that was kind of my first tweet, Panikin struggling. I said, the good news is, all of the retards that called Trump a warmonger will find something else to cry about starting tomorrow. If you couldn't figure out Trump after 10 years, that's your problem. MAGA doesn't need you or want you. I proceeded to then go, nobody is more upset about world peace than the so-called anti-war influencers right now. What else did I say? President Trump won, MAGA won, but I think that
I'll be back in a sec.
What?
we should handle this in the most professional way possible and roast the living fuck out of every single person that called him a warmonger. And I stand by that 100%. Again, criticism is one thing, and I've seen a lot of people that went on the George W. Trump nonsense. I've seen a lot of the people that called him a warmonger try to say, well, there's nothing wrong with criticizing him. There is nothing wrong with criticizing him. I criticized him. I second-guessed him on him dropping bombs on Iran's nuclear facilities. That is not what people did. People
How many
called him a
pieces so far?
warmonger, and they compared him to George W. Bush. Fuck that noise. You don't get to just
over
get to
6K.
just move past that one. Alex fucking Jones. You don't get to just move past that shit, dude. Like, George W. Bush is an evil motherfucker. George W. Bush is evil, and what he did to this country and what he did to our soldiers and what he did to the American people by using 9/11 so that he could go and have his little war, fuck that. Fuck that. So I absolutely, like, after 10 fucking years of President Trump doing what he does, for people to sit there and question him to that level, like, again, criticize him and go for it. You can criticize him all day long. Now, with that said, this whole thing has been really messy because we're getting all types of reports, and I don't know what to believe in terms of the reports. I have no idea what to believe. I don't know what's true and what's not, and that's kind of par for the course for what anything in the Middle East, because while there's supposed to be a ceasefire, we're getting reports that there is no ceasefire. And I'm going to go over a lot of those reports right now. So we really don't know. We really don't know what's going on at this moment in time. Give me just a minute. I'm trying to pull up my chat so I can go. And where was it? What were we looking at? Right here. There we go. Okay. So, thank you guys for being here at this late hour, and we're going to kind of go through all of this. So 41 seconds ago, this was just tweeted by President Trump. The ceasefire is now in effect. Please do not violate it. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. He just posted this. I fucking love this dude, man. This shit is great. Now, you got the Middle East, like, they were, like, throwing bombs at each other. Trump War Room just put it out right there. So, you got, let me see if I can find it. Like, you've got these motherfuckers, like, it's like, you know how you have, like, a hockey game and you just let them fight until they're too tired. That's kind of what it is. Like, all right, get the war out of you, fire off your last few missiles, and then you guys have to stop. It's so retarded. The Middle East is a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. And the fact that President Trump has even gotten us to this part of the situation speaks volumes, man. I mean, he really is the GOAT. I mean, he really is. And so earlier we hang on, we had reports, and I want to show you kind of like how crazy the reporting has been, because the reporting has been absolutely all over the place. So let me see if I can find it. So right here, this is a few hours ago. Iranian foreign minister says there's currently no ceasefire or agreement unless Israel discontinues its strikes by 4 a.m. That was the agreement. What are you talking about? Like, and then he like makes another tweet and he's like, yeah, by the way, we're done. And I'm like, but you said, like, you're essentially saying there is no agreement unless Israel holds up to the agreement. Like, what are we talking about, dude? It's so ridiculous, man. And it just shows you like the messaging and the narrative out there from a lot of the people involved with this. It really is wild. I tried to find it. Hang on, Breaking. I think Breaking 911 had it as well. So right now, as it stands, President Trump just tweeted out and said that the ceasefire has started. Everyone behave. So Daddy is watching, okay? Daddy is watching. So right here. All right, so here you got this one, okay? So ceasefire in effect with a question mark. All right? So this is like Iran has repeatedly made it clear Israel launched war on Iran, not the other way around. As of now, there is no agreement on any ceasefire. Blah, 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 blah. And then he sends another tweet out. And he sends another tweet out. And he goes, after saying there's no ceasefire agreement, then he says they're abiding by the terms of the deal. These tweets came out like within 10 minutes of each other. I'm like, what are we doing, dude? It's absolutely insane. So right now, we have President Trump on Truth Social, and the time for the ceasefire is now here. And Daddy is watching, everyone. The ceasefire is now in effect. Please do not violate it. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. So we'll see if anyone violates it or not. But the victory tour has been great because the narrative of Trump being a warmonger, that's no more. And here's what those weirdos are going to do now. So let's say the ceasefire is violated. They'll blame that on Trump. They'll blame that on Trump. The people that hate him or go anti-war, the anti-MAGA crowd or whatever, if someone violates it, they're gonna blame Trump. And I'm like, how is it Trump's fault? He's the one that made the deal happen. He's the only person in the world that can even make the deal happen. But that shouldn't surprise anyone. And they're coping really hard right now. They're coping really hard with the results that President Trump is the greatest president in the history of this country. And I am loving it. Now, what's good about this is that not only is President Trump the greatest president of all time, he's also teaching the next Jedi Master his ways. Because J.D. Vance, apparently, I don't have Blue Sky, but apparently J.D. Vance went over to Blue Sky and said, President Trump just said to Iran's nuclear program, no way, Jose. Can somebody confirm if this is real or not? Because I don't have a Blue Sky. But apparently this is what he went over there and said. Now this is after the whole Jose controversy. Can someone confirm if this is true? Because if this is true, J.D. Vance is well on his way to becoming number 48. I doubt anybody watching this stream has a Blue Sky account, to be fair. So it's really good to see that, though. Okay, so let me keep up with all this. Thank you guys for being here at this late hour. So if this is Panikin's probably hoping war continues. Oh, they absolutely want war to continue. Absolutely. Fantastic Not says, Black Pillar is awfully quiet. The warmongers eating crow and crying their war isn't happening. Peace in the Middle East, hopefully. I personally don't, I appreciate that President Trump has made this happen. Let's see. Oh, D-Day Cobra, he said it. You can see his Blue Sky without an account.
Yo, dog, you there?